Oh, hi. I saw you there. Because I set the camera up myself. Hi, welcome to this corner of a room in the new moon base, which, I'm kind of getting used to. This is the show formerly known as Gibb Answers Your Tweets, but, booted up my computer for the first time in a while. I don't use it much, and after a considerable boot up sequence, tried to log into Matweetmans, and it's not Matweetmans anymore. It's X gonna give it to you, and the color's all different, and it's posts instead of tweets, and reborps instead of whatsits, and everybody I blocked is back. So, I don't know, it sucks now. Anyway, I went over to Mastodon and made myself a Mastodon. Anyway, it's time for me to answer some Toots? Apparently they're called Toots now. Alright, let's get rolling. Horum asks, so Gibb, how federated are you exactly? I legitimately don't know how to respond to this. I know there's a word people use on this site, but I looked it up and it seems like nobody's using it correctly, or like they've invented a new way of talking. Look, it's bad enough I gotta answer Toots now, but don't make me worried about how many boops and reflorps my Toots are getting. At least it ain't blue sky. Anyone ever catches me posting a skeet, you can immediately set me on fire. Don't even get me started on threads. Oh, great, I can't even post without logging in different. No, but it's user-friendly though, sure. Okay. Next Toot. Sop he asks, got any tips for becoming nocturnal? I don't know why you need my help. People do this all the time. Sometimes people do it because they have a job with overnight shifts, like convenience store clerk or murderer. And sometimes people do it by accident because they're staying up really late since it's the only time in the day when other people aren't asking them for stuff and they just want some more control over their life. Don't care about when you go to bed and it'll just kinda happen. Next, Cobalt Blue asks, I'm stuck in a Walmart waiting for car service for an hour. What should I do? Well, you asked me this a week ago, so I hope you aren't still there. I guess my advice would be, don't get your car serviced at Walmart? Is that even a thing they do? The ones around here just sell acceptable groceries at prices we're willing to spend because the other Canadian grocery monopolies are terrible. Sorry, where was I? Oh yeah. Scrabble around the flat pack chicken to find the most weight for your buck. Next, Danielle asks, Dr. Gibb, how should I placate my PhD dissertation committee? Snacks, probably. Like a charcuterie plate or maybe some pate. You ever tried a terrine? The fastest way to the master's degree is through the stomach. And now, Hyperial Guard says, Dear Dr. Gibb, how should I deal with the endless dread in my heart? Also, favorite pie? I think you answered the question within your question. Shore up the walls of your dreadful heart with your favorite pie. For me, I don't have a huge sweet tooth, unless that's been previously established. I don't watch all the lore, so I'm a fan of savory pies like a Melton Mowbray or whatever those Australian meat pies are. They just call them meat pies and expect us to be okay with that. And I am. Same answer, both questions, meat pie with red sauce. Now, Min asks, Dear Dr. Gibb, I need you to clarify this prescription. It just says grit good. I need a milligram strength and directions. Also, any refills? Well, you want to start at a lower grit, like 60 or 80, and do several passes, slowly increasing the grit until you reach the desired smoothness. You probably don't need to go higher than 600, but at a certain point it's personal preference. Then coat with something like, like a polyurethane sealant. External use only. And now, Reddit asks, I am finally visiting Canada, BC specifically, at the end of the month. What hidden gems should I seek out? Apparently you can find argillite and corundum, but I've never found any myself. There's loads of jade around, but I wouldn't call it very well hidden. Pretty sure there's a TV show about it. On your way to the quarry, check out the enchanted forest near Revelstoke. It's weird as hell. And when you escape, it's time for... Nate Heham asks, If sweet sauce is bad and sour sauce is bad, how can sweet and sour sauce be so good? I reject the very premise of this question. Who told you sweet and sour sauces, respectively, were bad? You never had a raspberry coulis or a dark chocolate dip? Sour sauces are great too, though on different things, I suppose. Like I wouldn't put a citrus vinaigrette on ice cream. But what if I did? No, that's silly. I'll make Pistachio try it and see how he likes it, and then maybe have it based on his reaction. Yeah. I have some experiments to try. Now, James Turner asks, so this is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world, and while she looks so sad in photographs, I absolutely love her when she smiles. What do I do? Look, I get what you're doing here, but if you do actually want to keep following the progress of frontman John Hampson from the One Hit Wonder 9 days, you should marry that girl and have a family with her that long outlasts your pop culture relevancy. Sounds like it's time for an awkward conversation with your wife. For me, though, it's time for... Newt says, asking for a friend. What should he do after stumbling upon buried treasure? He wants to keep it, but I'm telling him he should share it. How badly did he stumble? You can probably sue the owner for improperly storing their treasure. That's where the real money is. Tell your friend they should give you the treasure, and they can have their legal winnings. It'll be fine. I cannot represent you legally, but I'd be happy to do so morally. Next, Ars Veritatis says, where in the new moon base do you go when you need some time away from the others? Oh, I like to sit near the hot water tank. It's got a slow leak, but Bartleby doesn't bug me in there because the heat and humidity reminds him too much of his time in Madagascar. The movie. Apparently the recording booth was really uncomfortable. And he says all his scenes got cut. Saying all this out loud, I'm realizing he's probably lying to me, but I've never really cared enough to interrogate his nonsense. Where the water smells like swine. Which brings me to Tyleramen. How do I get my writing career big enough that I can quit my terrible corporate job? Try double spacing? Or using a bigger font? Oh, actually, wait. Do both of those and print your books on A4 or even legal-sized paper. That'll easily make your writing bigger. Now, where are you going to get all this large paper, you ask? Well, before you quit that job, raid the copy room. Now, a tiny Space Marini says, what extinct animal do you think should be the mascot for the Fediverse version of Tumblr? Oh, the great auk. It's like if a penguin and a puffin had a weird giant baby. It's another in the long list of animals humans have extincted for no reason other than they had the misfortune of being useful and tasty, while also stupid and flightless. Justice for the great auk, really. Anyway, I think it makes sense for Tumblr because their social colonies were incredibly dense. Also, the last ones died getting choked out by sailors, which, judging by your posts, is how a lot of you want to go out too, you weirdos. Let me ox you a question. And now, Mike says, I have followed some of your previous advice, and now everything is on fire. Help? Hey, look, Mike, I'm not one to victim blame, but I'm pretty sure this is somehow entirely your fault. Oops, time to wrap up the video. Goodbye. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. Toots ain't bad. Get yourself over to Mastodon and start trumpeting right away. At least stop going on platforms owned by billionaires. Threads. God, what was he thinking? Oh, right, I gotta turn the camera off.
Ooh, is this blood orange sorbet?
Not quite. There's citrus in it, but it's ice cream base.
Huh. Well, I've got a lactose sensitivity.
Well, give it a shot anyway. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess it's not good to be completely intolerant.
Yeah, exactly.